G'day there, it's Poppy Dave back in the garden. Yeah, today I'm just talking more about bromeliads, but in particular a genus called Vriesea. So these are the Vriesea variety. This one here that's in front of you here is a little species, and so I'll just show this little characteristic. I'd call this one, without sort of bombarding you with the different names, sort of a blade type one, so it gets like a little blade on there. So you can see that it's red with a little bit of yellow in the middle there. The little flowers haven't come out on the ends yet, so this is just the inflorescence. So it's also worth noting that they're quite a thin leaf, very thin leaf in regards to a bromeliad. So they grow, a lot of them grow in Brazil, up in the rainforests and in the forests, and also in some of the cloud forests where the mists are rolling over them and keeping them moist, and they're not sort of in the wild growing in a lot of dry climates, so they're in dappled light. So that's a bit of a hint in the backyard. It's a matter of getting them under a lot of shade cloth, not having them in direct light, and they do tolerate a fair bit more shade than some of the other bromeliad species, kind of in the same category as the nigellariums, which will grow in full shade. I've actually got them under double shade cloth here near my shed, so I've got shade cloth all over the yard, and a normal percentage. But to give them a little bit extra shade, I've got a second lot over, and they're protected from the west from dry winds and stuff. So I've got to try not to let them get too cold. You can see I get a bit of spotting on them. I don't say I grow Vrieseas perfectly here in my climate here at Maitland, and naturally to be they need more protection as you go over the range where it's hotter and colder in the winter. So yeah, so it's worth noting that they've crossed a lot of hybrids out of these species. Another little species, just to demonstrate the colouring. This is quite a small little Vriesea, grows a lot in the trees and what have you in the forest. This one's called Vriesea carinata. So once again you can see the red and the yellow there. So that's one that's been crossed a little bit. Another variety that come along, there's a whole range of these sort of pendulous ones that come down with their inflorescence. So if you're looking for a nice specimen for a hanging basket or something like that, these Vriesea retrofolias, there's quite a few different varieties of these. So just depends what you want to buy and what you want to have in your collection. But if you're looking for one that can hang up fairly high with some other ferns and stuff like that in your garden or in your greenhouse, this is quite a nice one when it's on show and sort of the inflorescence is hanging out at eye height. So that is actually another variety. So as you can see with this particular plant, this is Vriesea gunther. You can see it's got a really beautiful totally red shiny blade here, inflorescence. So once again, I've talked about the the one that flows out, so there's sort of the drooping variety, and then the blades that stand straight up. So as they've hybridized them, they've kept getting these characteristics so that these are bigger and showier. So that's Vriesea gunther. You do see these in Bunnings every now and then come on for sale. So this is another particularly nice hybrid. You can see with this one, this is has more of a branching inflorescence. As it grows, it branches out. So this is my third variety that I wanted to show off that in this type, as in the branching inflorescence. So if that's something that you're keeping an eye out for, once again, it's predominantly red and yellow, but in this particular one, there's probably more yellow in the flower as it matures. I haven't had this in a lot of sun. When it's growing nicely on the coast, it goes a very nice shade of purple, like a light purple. So I never can get them in enough sun for them to go real purple for me, because I'm always trying to protect them and stop them from getting burnt. So anyway, that's a few different types of Vriesias that you might see come on the market or keep your eye out for. There's kind of the 3 different types of inflorescence arrangements, and it just depends on what you like. Or you collect all of them and you try and have all different ones. So it's something to keep an eye out for. So that's the Bromeliad species Vriesias. All right, bye for now.